This episode of Death Battle Cast is brought to you by Quip. Stay tuned for more information later in the show.
Hey!
Hello, and welcome to the Death Battle Cast. The first one technically recorded this year.
Hey, we made it!
Hey, Happy New Year.
Another year. Thank you guys for watching.
It's 2020, and we got 20 episodes of Death Battle coming this year.
Nice.
Super exciting.
20 in 2020.
Yes. Hi, I'm Ben. I'm the voice of Wiz.
I'm Sam.
That's your cue.
God damn it.
I'm
New
here.
year, same old shit.
Whole year. I'm Josh.
Yeah.
What do you do, Josh? Just in case.
Write and edit and stuff.
Great. Cool. I'm Chad. I play Boomstick.
We work on Death Battle. What
We
do you
do
want,
things
man?
sometimes. I don't know.
But specifically, if someone who's tuning in hasn't seen Josh on cast before and wanted to know what he contributes to the Death Battle episodes,
Yeah.
it would be nice for you to say what you do. Sam at least has been here so many goddamn times that they probably know by now. But you've only said it probably 10 times correctly, so
I'm currently writing and, I guess, producing an episode of Death Battle.
there we are.
Episode 10. It'll be good.
Spoilers,
Yeah.
jeez.
Is that all I needed to do?
I didn't know that the episode was
Episode
going to be
10.
good.
Well, if I'm going to be more honest, episode 10. I hope it's good.
Is that all I needed to do this whole time was just explain why it's important?
Hey, Chad,
We never
can you
do.
please introduce yourself?
I already did.
He did.
No.
Did you?
Did
I'm
you?
waiting for you.
Whatever.
100% did, but I'll do it again. Hey, I'm Chad. I'm the voice of Boomstick.
Fuck it. It's 2020. We're
I
going
guarantee you
crazy.
it's there.
We're going in exactly like we always fucking
Exactly. Yes. So
Be gone! There we go.
What do we talk about
So,
in 2020?
well, we have announced the first episode. We did it on the last episode of Death Broadcast, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yes, that's how this works.
Yeah, because we already got some really cool fan art.
Yeah. So the first episode is, I'm still figuring out how to title this, because technically we should title it Spider-Man versus Static.
Static. But
But-
people know him as Static Shock, even though that's not his actual...
Right.
Yeah.
The more popular brand is Static Shock, even though that's not his name, and it's also not Peter Parker Spider-Man, it's Miles Morales. So do we title this Miles Morales versus Static Shock? Probably not. Probably Miles Morales versus Static. That's the next episode, Miles versus Static.
Yeah, well, so the problem that we're always screwed in is because, yeah, you're right. For, search engine optimization and, the general populace, it would be way better to title it Spider-Man versus Static Shock. But because of the nature of what our show is, then every goddamn comment will be like, actually, it's just static. That's a comment.
We
Yeah, go ahead and Google just static and see if you get your boy. Like,
You won't.
Right.
You'll
fucking
get
it's Static Shock
Yeah.
because we Google. Thank Google. Don't be mad at us.
Yeah, we got a little bit of flack for that when we did Pokemon versus Digimon a few years back, because it was titled Pokemon versus Digimon because people aren't searching Charizard versus Greymon,
Right.
per se, or War Greymon.
Right.
Like, I don't even know which one we were supposed to put in the title. But everybody has a different opinion of what that episode should be called, so it's just Pokemon versus Digimon.
See, now I'm seeing it. Sith Fighter in the chat. Just Miles versus Static.
Yeah, but who's Miles? Like,
Right. I'm
Tails?
just like Miles
Yeah,
Luna?
exactly. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they both have crazy tech and whatnot, so it's fine.
See, that's what's fun about titling is you have to think about when some random person on the internet who knows nothing about Death Battle or whatever sees a thing, will it be interesting to them? Right?
Yeah.
And it's a little different from titling like a book or a movie. Like a lot of the same rules still apply. Like the idea is to get people to get interested in your content based on just a title. But for a YouTube
Ultimate
video-
Spider-Man.
Oh, that's true. Oh, well, technically there's two Ultimate Spider-Man.
Whatever.
One of them
Of course
is
there
Peter
is.
Parker.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But I like that though. I think that's a good suggestion from Sith Fighter.
that is a good suggestion.
If it's titled
I
Ultimate
would still
Spider-Man,
be confused
you get
a little
credit.
bit though.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably just going to be one really long title.
But
Miles
let's-
Morales versus Static.
I think it's Miles Morales
Parentheses.
versus Static Shock.
Marvel's Ultimate Spider-Man versus DC's Static Shock. Please watch. Smiley face.
You won't believe what
Death
happens.
battle. You won't
Lamau.
believe what
Yeah.
Doctor's hater.
All right, well,
5 tricks.
To get your superhero off.
we're super excited for this episode. We've wanted to bring Miles, Miles and Static into a Death Battle for a long time, and this is one of the matchups, both of their most requested matchups for sure. And with Spider-Verse coming out recently in the last year, right? totally helped blow up the popularity of Miles Morales, which is great for us. So I
that
figured
movie's so
it's
good.
about time
So
to
good.
bring him in. And also,
I would
we haven't
wager
had
it's the
Spider-Man
best
for a while.
superhero movie.
Whoa.
Of all time?
Superhero movie, just period.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really
It's definitely up there.
good.
It's better than
Yeah,
all the
it's one of good
Avengers. I think it's better than all the fucking Marvel movies. I think it is just the best superhero movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's definitely up there. Maybe
Dolph
as the
Lundgren
best-
Punisher. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe it's maybe the best comic book superhero movie.
Yeah, comic book is
yeah,
a good adjective
yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, other superheroes, but either way, we're super excited for this episode. We've been working on it for quite a while now. We've been knee deep in this season 7 production for several months at this point. But this animation is coming to you from Luis, Zach, and Kid Gus, who we've recently brought on in office to help the two whiz genius 2D animators, Luis and Zach. So it's a trio now, and damn, they're doing so good with it. Like they're bringing some of that Spider-Verse like imagery to Miles, and like Static. If you've watched the TV show, like Static's awesome, right? But holy shit, you get into the comics for Static, and his powers go nuts.
Yeah.
Like the dude has some weird ass powers. So it's gonna be a really fun animation, and the music for it's actually coming from. For the first time ever, we are combining the forces of JT Machinima, Omega Sparks, and SWATs. It's gonna be real good.
Oh, wow.
Real good track.
Cool.
So I'm really looking forward to this.
JT Machinima writes the best hooks.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
they're so good. Or I guess JT Music now. Sorry. We still know them as...
Oh yeah. I guess it is JT Music. Whatever. We've been in this.
If you don't know who they are, look them up. There's some really great dudes, and they make really cool music.
But as you mentioned, we do have some fan art. I believe some of this is Miles. One of this might be Miles Static. One I don't know what the other one is. Let's go ahead and bring up the first one from I think Carbot.
Oops.
Sam swivels his chair and kicks the TV.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
pretty
that's
sweet.
super cool.
That's
This
cool.
is fucking dope.
Hell yeah.
And it may or may not be kind of similar to something that does happen in the fight.
Interesting.
You did fuck up the shoes.
Really,
Well-
Sam?
Well,
Really?
Yeah.
You're
All
just
right.
you're gonna throw that out there right away?
We all noticed, but no one said anything.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
it's so good.
We're all like,
though.
oh, it's so cool, it's so great, it's awesome. Oh, it might even be like close to a shot that we're doing in the fight. Fucked up the shoes.
Well, it's like fucking Miles' like most iconic thing.
Is it?
Yes.
I could not tell you what shoes Miles wears. Like, could not
Okay,
right now.
fuck yourself.
But the
Have
person,
you even ever
but Sam,
looked
I've
at
never
the
spent more
comics?
than like $80 on a
Did
pair
you
of shoes.
watch the movies? The shoes have hero shots in the movie.
Sure, I don't.
Like it's like.
But I
his
don't care
defining
about the
character drag over. Okay,
How much?
Yeah.
What's the most you've ever spent on a pair of shoes?
a lot of money, Chad.
How much is a lot?
Like on a single pair,
Yeah.
like 500-ish.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, of course. Duh. Yeah, he's supposed to have some fucking Chicago Jordan 1s. Like,
I couldn't even tell you
I
what
know.
that means.
it's literally this shoe,
Yeah, I pointed at
but
it.
white
Oh,
and
really?
red.
But red, yeah.
Yeah, white, red, black. No, it's
Well-
just white, red. Chicago's just white, red.
Carbonated. What's the name?
They
Carbonated.
even
It's over here,
made
right? No.
they even made like a
Carbonated
like a
James. God damn it! Your art.
cell-stippled version
It's
of
stupid.
it when
It's
the
really
movie came out.
Very good.
Like the movie literally had a
Okay, let's move on from the shoes.
Okay, it's the most
The
iconic
art
point of the character.
is dope. We got another piece from Tyscope. Let's go ahead
But
and
it
complain
is
about
great
these
art.
shoes.
I'm not shitting on the artist. I'm just saying the shoes.
What about these shoes?
Well,
Sam?
Boomstick's missing one.
That's pretty good.
Well, yeah.
No,
So
that's awesome.
Like that a
classic
lot.
little bit from one of our best episodes from last year.
That's really cool.
There's just a little bit of butt cheek hanging down on Deadpool too. I figured we're pointing out really minor things. Dude,
like
also,
it, though.
Pinkie
What other
Pie,
nitpick can we do?
Pinkie Pie looks deranged. That look in her eye, like she is like.
It's kind of her thing,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
She's
yeah.
a little crazy. Mm-hmm. This is great.
That's a really
Why
Those are
did
really
the
old,
ponies all have like tramp stamps?
They're called Cutie Marks, first of all.
Yikes.
And it's a whole big thing because you get your cutie mark when you discover what your purpose is. I have a daughter. Watched a lot of My Little Pony.
Well, we've also put ponies into death
That
three
too.
times.
That too. But
For some reason.
Yeah.
Do they each have different marks?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Everybody has their
they're-
own unique
So
special
her
mark.
purpose is
finding their like special
balloons?
talent. So well, that symbolizes partying. Like her whole thing is parties.
Yes.
Right.
The ponies do not get to choose their own fate. They are all predestined.
Ponies that do not have a mark are derogatorily called blank flanks, and they're made fun of a lot, and it's sad.
Because it's on
Can you
their
rebel
flank.
against your mark? Do whatever you want?
I think there was a storyline. You'll have to ask
There
Gerardo
should
on that, but I think there was somebody who had a mark and they didn't
How
want to
many
do it.
people
I will not
do you
party.
think get those, get flank marks on their ass because of this show?
I guarantee you.
Oh my God.
I guarantee you some people have some cutie
I'm
marks.
sure there are plenty
Yeah.
of people who get their specific like favorite cutie mark or whatever as a tattoo, like on their arm or whatever. But you're specifically
not on
asking
their
asking
ass.
on their.
Hey, Brian, will you Google cutie mark
Oh, no,
tattoos?
maybe
Dennis?
not. Maybe don't.
No, do it.
Uh-oh.
No, I mean, I've already seen 3 balloon nuts.
I guarantee you
Oh,
there is like a
Jesus.
tramp stamp one.
Yo, absolutely, dude.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, back to the art. You know,
It's amazing.
Very good.
It's really good.
Super good. I love it.
I like it a lot.
I love it.
You
Thank
blended
you guys.
all the styles together very well.
Well, thank you for sending. Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
really
art style
did.
for this is really neat. Really neat. Thank you for sending these to us. If you have something like this that you want us to see and maybe show off on Death Battle Cast, just let us know using hashtag Death Battle Cast on Twitter. Send it to us there. I think we don't really have a whole lot to discuss regarding season 7 so far. But the first episode.
Did you announce the air date?
We did,
Yeah.
but the first episode will air January 26th. That's a Sunday for first members, and then that Monday, the 27th, it comes out on YouTube. So the scheduling is a little different now. For first members, get it on Sundays, every 2 Sundays starting on the 26th, and then it comes out on YouTube the following Monday, 24 hours later, which is awesome. We're very excited about that. And the way previews are going to work now, because we're doing every 2 weeks, is both previews will still be happening to help start that discussion that we know a lot of you love to have. And they will be coming out, the first one will come out the week before. So that Sunday and Monday will be the first preview, and then I believe Wednesday and Thursday will be the second preview of the week before. So everything, we're still doing everything.
I feel like you need to make an infographic because you just there it is.
Oh my God. Can we show this?
I guess that's
is
the
that-
flank, right?
Is that Twilight or is that's Twilight's? Yeah, I nailed it.
Yeah, that's the
And
flank.
somebody definitely nailed it. Sorry.
Well.
Yeah, yeah.
Boo.
Boo.
No,
Gerardo, we know you have one.
because your flank is like the most.
Which
It
one do
goes
you
from
think
like back
Gerardo would
here
get?
up to the side of your hip, right? So that does make sense. Blank flanks. That's rude, man.
It's the next Mudblood.
I do think I'm gonna shit talk people and call them that now, though.
Jesus.
Blank flanks.
but there's
Yeah, just fucking hit them with that Earl shit. Just fucking flank. It sounds rough. Fucking
When you can
flank,
get it-
flank.
Doesn't have a tattoo?
when you get a derogatory insult that rhymes, like it really hammers
Cuts
it
to
in.
the core.
Yeah. It's not one of those lazy ones either. It's a good one. Flank.
If there's one thing My Little Pony did right, it was introduce a derogatory term.
Perfect.
I mean,
Yeah, that was the point of the episode. Not that it should be all acceptance of everybody, regardless of whether they found their talent or not.
Oh boy. Okay, so we're gonna do things a little differently this episode because we haven't had a chance to talk about Star Wars, and I believe some of us have some things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
And by that it means Ben has to talk about Star Wars.
yeah, I have an hour-long rant that I need to get to. So if we're gonna
Buckle up.
start with
Dude,
the community death battle right now.
I didn't even think about it.
Quip wants you to know one thing about dental care, and that's that good habits make you good. Simple as that. If you got good brushing habits, your teeth are going to be pretty good. And let me tell you, I fully believe in it, and I love my Quip. I didn't go to the dentist for 8 years, started using a Quip, and then went to the dentist, and they're like, your mouth's good, which is a miracle, and I will give Quip full credit for this miracle. It was literally one of the most exciting things of 2019 for me. And you can, get this wonderful excitement as well by going to getquip.com/cast right now, and you'll even get your first refill pack. Did I mention that they all have little refill packs that come every 3 months? You put them in your brush, you got a new battery, you got a fresh breath. It's wonderful. They give you toothpaste. That's the paste you put on your brush to put on your teeth. It seems like you could skip one step, put it on your teeth, then brush it in, but no, don't worry about it. Do it the way they tell you to do it. And you can start using it now by going to getquip.com/cast right now, and you'll get your first refill pack for free. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/cast. Spelled GETQUIP.com/cast. Quip, the good habits company.
Brian's taking no shit in 2020. He's like, delay this episode, delay this segment my ass. I should have brought Blaine on. That would have been great. You guys, I've always wanted to see you and Blaine talk Star Wars. Because you two are the biggest Star Wars fans and nerds that I know.
Well,
maybe another time.
Do you know if he liked this movie?
I think he did.
I think he did.
According to the tweets.
According to the tweets. Need to talk to him. Anyway, Santa.
Yeah.
So this
versus
was,
Jesus.
As always with the community death battle, we leave it up to you guys to let us know who you think should win and why using #DeathBattleCast on Twitter. So this time, we had the DC Comics Santa Claus versus the Marvel Santa Claus. I looked into these characters a little bit because I knew a little bit about the Marvel one. I wasn't too familiar with the DC one.
Same.
Turns out, he's weird because there is no one DC Santa.
oh, is this Santa Claus?
There's a bunch of them. Some of them are
Tim
evil.
Allen, maybe.
Some of them are dead. He's like an idea that exists in dreams.
Great.
He's Freddy
Anyway,
Krueger?
Yeah, right?
Anyway, let's bring up the first answer from Phantom Anime. Is that what this is? Yes. So he says, DC Santa wins because he has traveled to Apocalypse in order to deliver Darkseid a lump of coal and escape alive while avoiding a bunch of his traps to and from and escaping Darkseid's Omega beams, which were hard to evade.
How many, like, the fucking Omega Beam thing pisses me off all the time, because it's like, no one can possibly avoid the Omega Beams, and then it's like, somehow this person has avoided the Omega Beams, and this guy, and this guy.
A regular man.
Right.
Can do it.
Fucking ridiculous.
What?
I don't think we should call Batman a regular man ever.
Right.
Like, that's not a realistic.
But
On the
theoretically,
scale, he should be at the bottom.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's just a physical thing.
at this point, they just need to be like, now he's developed super Omega Beams. Like, and these are actually unavoidable until the next time they write it and they go, well, fuck. We can't just kill a main character.
Okay, so we do have an answer for the other Santa from Sonic Guru. And he says, going with Marvel Santa. While DC Santa may be faster, Marvel Santa has shown the ability to instantly teleport people, mind wipe them, and turn people into action figures, ignoring disability. He also erased any evidence of Cerebro, discovering he was the most powerful mutant ever.
We did a desk of on that very issue.
Yep.
Yes.
He's got the Infinity Gauntlet?
The Infinity Gauntlet, like, possessed him or something like that. He didn't have full control over it. Like, he wasn't able to control it or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what the full story of that one is.
But if he can mind wipe people and turn them into action figures, then, like, what the fuck?
So, Santa, in, like, the concept of Santa makes so much more sense in a world where there's, like, actual superheroes. Because in the real world, if anyone got a package from Santa that they didn't know, but like if a package showed up under your tree that literally no one in your household knew about, you would like call the cops or something. Like it wouldn't be like but
TSA rules apply.
We would know, like, the definitive evidence of Santa being there would be so grand, and it would be like, oh, how the fuck is this happening?
But if he can mess with your
but
mind-
if there's all this shit, then you're just like, oh yeah, we good. Like,
oh, I did get that for you.
Yeah, it's just this jolly ass old mutant who can go real fast and he likes making toys.
And DC Santa, so what I discovered about DC Santa, so Saint Nick did exist in their continuity, but he died. And at some point, John Constantine found his remains and snorted them. This is what I read on the DC Wiki.
Fucking stupid things about comics.
Interesting.
Yo, line up a rail, that's Saint Nick.
But he was Santa Claus and eventually died. However, there are still Santa Clauses who appear every so often. And supposedly, Lobo kills one of them.
I do remember the Lobo exchange.
But he still exists later on, so he keeps dying and coming back. So what that means, I don't know. Are there like avatars of Santa Claus? Is he indestructible?
Is it the idea that just keeps coming back, he can't die? Or is it like Sam said, is it a Santa Claus where, you know, somebody else is
There's one comic
becoming
where Superman meets him in a dream, and then when he wakes up, there's a gift. at the foot of his bed from Santa, a Kryptonian toy that no one would be able to give him except for Santa.
That's messed up.
So
That's wild.
he met him in a dream. So Santa in the DC universe is exactly what the DC universe is all about, making no goddamn sense.
Yep, very true.
Yeah.
It's like Mr.
Mixelplex or the story
Okay, real quick.
vampires.
Is it
Mixlick?
That's what I thought. Mixel Spitlick, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is because
Sure.
I always remember the animated episode where he's voiced by Gilbert Gottfried of all people,
Yeah.
and he
Perfect
explains
casting.
and he explains how to say his name, and his Mixel spit. And he spits on his hand and then lick.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a thing.
He does a blender thing, mix.
Yeah, Mixel Spitlick.
Anyway,
Weird.
we need to vote on who we think will win. So just to clarify for Marvel Santa, yeah, he is an Omega level mutant, the most powerful mutant. At one point, Xavier spots him on, I think it's Xavier, spots him on Cerebro and is like, we gotta go find this super powerful mutant. And Santa's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna wipe your mind that you ever knew I existed.
Literally, not Cerebro.
Yeah. So he's super powerful and can teleport all over the world and whatnot.
Marvel Santa.
Marvel Santa.
I just gonna say DC just because DC, bad writing, stronger characters.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with DC too, just because there's more of an unknown there. And I feel like Marvel Santa's gonna have more limits than whatever DC Santa's gonna do. But as always, it's up to you guys. We got a poll from you. Do we want to guess what the poll is? I have no idea what.
Oh, I think it's definitely Marvel. The poll's gonna lean Marvel.
Think so?
Well, then again, I mean, like DC characters are traditionally
Strong. Yeah.
stronger.
Yeah, but everybody likes Marvel more.
This is true.
Okay. So let's see what you guys voted.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Marvel Santa.
Marvel won. I mean, it was a little close, but Marvel wins. All right.
At least we have relevant emojis this time.
Wait, what is that?
It's a boxing glove.
A boxing glove?
Yeah. Because they fighting.
But the other one's got
A tree? Well, yeah,
You can
use
swing
the
a tree.
Christmas ones. That's fine. I feel like that's all gravy.
Whatever.
Like,
What does the
what
boxing
other
glove have to do
options
with
did you
Christmas?
have?
It's about them fighting.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's
That
just
could've
the
been like
closest
a
they could get to
gun
a
or
red
something?
glove. Maybe it's a mitten.
Chad is right. It was just the closest thing to a mitten.
Got it. Gotcha. All right.
Just wait
All
to
right.
see who will find it.
Cool. Okay. Oh shit, we needed to come up with a new.
Well, I have one.
Oh, you do?
Mhm. Are we going to do it at the end of the episode, or are we going to do it now?
We can do it right now.
Yeah.
So, you remember I was trying to throw it out there, but then we had all the weird, like, pre-recording stuff that I wanted to bring my friend Christina on to debate a very serious topic.
Would Christina be able to come on next week?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm just going to say yes, so now she has to do it.
I like it, yeah.
So,
The contract.
she has watched The Office so goddamn much that she can quote like every line from that entire show. And so we started talking about it, about like, what is there? I was like, is there even a character in The Office that you would want to see in like a death battle or something like that? And she was like, Dwight. And so then we
That's
talked
good.
about it, and we thought it'd be really fun to do Dwight from The Office versus Ron from Parks and Rec.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dwight's gonna get fucked.
Interesting. Dwight has a lot of weapons.
See, right?
That's true.
A lot of
That's
weapons
true.
hidden around the office.
And I was like, and that's fun
Doesn't
because
know
we
how to use
haven't
them.
we
Yeah.
haven't really done like TV sitcom characters
Yeah.
ever.
Let's do
Also,
it.
I'm gonna because I don't think The Office is a very good show past season 3. So I'm down. I'm down.
Parks and Rec is awesome.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
Parks and Rec is so
definitively
good.
a much better show.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
you
down.
misheard me. What I actually asked for was all of your bacon. Still one of my favorite lines of that whole show.
All right. Okay, I guess we're doing Dwight Schrute versus Ron Swanson as the next community death battle.
Sweet.
So as always, we'll put up a poll on the Death Battle Twitter at Death Battle. You can vote whenever that goes up later this week. And let us know who you think should win and why using hashtag DeathBattleCast, and we will discuss it on the episode next week. But right now, it's time to talk about what's going on with this Star Wars shenanigans. Everybody here has seen the movie, right?
No,
What the
you haven't seen it?
No, man.
I have children and I saw it.
I know. I've had guests in town and shit, and it's been like a pain in the ass. Also, everybody sees it like night 1.
Oh, yeah.
And like I was really busy, and then so nobody's around to go see it with me.
Can you
so-
guess what happens? Take a swing.
Yeah, I want to.
I mean, Palpatine's back, and like he's like using somebody's body to do some puppetry shit. Cause that
so you've
is
heard a few things.
No, that was my guess. I saw the
that was a
trailer.
guess.
I saw the
Palpatine's
trailer, and
back.
the trailer was very much like you hear Palpatine, and I'm like, okay, well that's some shit.
dead
you would
speak.
do. like, yeah, Palpatine has literally been a fucking puppeteer for the last 8. So why is he gonna not on the 9th? I feel like, yeah.
What?
And then probably like. It's like it's either Rey or Kylo. I don't know which one. And then the other one has like the Force can be good or bad, and then they break out of it and they're like, no more evil bad man. And then that's probably the show.
It's pretty close.
That's pretty close. What happened.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they're gonna do some predictable ass shit.
Yeah, it's not super complicated.
So
Yeah.
I will say that if we are going to talk about the movie, it will be difficult to do so without getting into spoilers. But
No, we're probably
So
going to
that's
talk
your
about spoilers.
so long as Sam is okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, shoot it. I just fucking like. There's no way I'm gonna avoid it any longer.
Whatever, it's January, the CPM's super low, so if
Yeah.
they all dip out now,
Yeah.
That's what matters the most.
I just can't
I'm
shut off
gonna
that part of my brain.
Wait until it hits Disney Plus. Probably. I gotta make that fucking $7 worth it.
Yeah. Well,
Dude, there's so much good shit on Disney Plus, man.
I mean, Mandalorian.
original
was tight.
stuff, not so much, but
Yeah, like I don't need to be watching none of this old shit. Like,
Well, it's great.
okay.
no, there's plenty of stuff. Just none of it I really want to watch.
Dude, my, Kira and Logan both fucking love DuckTales. Both the new one and the old
yeah.
one. We're watching the shit out of it.
Was the new one on Plus as well?
Yeah, it's great.
Better be.
That's cool.
Better be.
All right. Well, let's discuss
All right, so real quick,
Rise of Skywalker.
So what?
real
does
quick,
happen?
before we go into it all, let's just do overall thoughts, right? I'll start. We're gonna end on you.
Okay.
Go with the solid B.
So I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was a lot better than the previous movie, and I did rewatch the previous movie for a second time, and I didn't hate it quite as much, but I still am very mad about the giant plot hole. But yeah, no, I thought it was really fun. There were a couple things though that was just like, you just have to kind of get past that. It's not like a masterpiece of cinematic work.
Yeah.
And it was just the whole thing just goes along with basically like, uh-oh, a problem. We need the thing. Well, let's go get the thing. We did it. That problem is solved. Ah, but there's another problem. I hope you go get the thing again. It's like, I will.
Yeah.
I'll get this other thing to solve my problem.
Yeah. It was
but-
a lot of fetch quests.
Yeah, and there was a lot of fan service that they did in this one. You could tell they were trying to make up for some of the gripes. You know, like a couple things like, hey, here's your one shot with Ewoks. Like, here's your they're throwing it out. But there were some really cool moments. Like, oh my God, with the crossed lightsabers and like, man, the drop behind her back and like all like. There's a lot of moments that just like really got like me really hyped, and I left the theater being like, that was cool, that was fun, that was an enjoyable experience. I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, I agree. It was really fun. I enjoyed the experience for sure, but I think it's the weakest of the 3 of the new films. That's where I would put it. Like,
Really?
yeah, I mean, I liked 8 a lot, and I liked 7. This I feel like is underneath 7 for me. Like 8, 7, 6 is where I would put it. I just don't think. Yeah, it's a lot of fetch quests. It's not the most sophisticated storytelling.
You like
I think-
7 the most?
Eight,
No,
I think it's 8.
Oh.
8, 7, 6.
That's what he meant.
Yeah, that's the one.
8 is Last Jedi.
8 is the Last
one you
Jedi.
hate.
I
Yeah.
The
really
one that I
like Last Jedi.
hate? The what?
Yeah, I like that one. the
Okay,
best.
so my thing about 8 is I think everything except for the dumb like casino world stuff. Not that like any of that's shot poorly or anything like that, but everything aside from that plot line is pretty great in 8.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm bummed
I
that
love what
9
they do.
threw
I
out
love
a lot
what
of
they do
8
with
stuff.
Luke. The fucking end of 8 is awesome. Like I think that's the best way any Star Wars movie ends. Like
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think a lot of 8 is really good. I think it is messy.
all the shit with the casino and all that shit and like the fucking going into light speed to blow up like
Chase
everything.
doesn't
That is
make a lot of
trash,
sense when you think
though.
about
Right,
it.
and that's what
But it's also like, it's
The
weird.
chases in the chase, like literally, they should have just been like Oh yeah, remember the fucking first 2 episodes of Battlestar Galactica and how that's like the best fucking piece of TV or like cinema history ever? Let's just do that, because that's fucking really good, guys. And they were like, nah, let's just make it like boring and dumb and like not make any sense. Like, it is, they could have literally just done the Battlestar Galactica
one of
thing,
the fucking
and it would have been
things
fucking
could have
amazing.
just jumped a light speed ahead of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, in Battlestar, they have that exact thing, and they're like, oh, well, they jump again before they can, like, because they jump to them, and then they jump again, and they jump. They're just jumping and jumping and jumping so that they don't know to jump ahead of them or anything like that, right?
But they couldn't do that,
Like-
right? They would run out of fuel.
Right, because they run out of fuel.
The Resistance couldn't do that, but one of my biggest issues with this entire trilogy is I never really understood what the First Order was.
Motivations are, yeah.
Like, well, specifically, did they own the galaxy, or were they just like this small little cult? Because
Good question.
The Last Jedi kind of implies that it's just a small little cult of like 5 ships, and it's fighting this other group of like 3 ships and 30 people. It's
Until
like,
Palpatine's
why does
like,
any of this really matter?
I have a planet of destroyers.
Well, then there's another thing. So this movie, the end of The Last Jedi then implies that the First Order owns the entire fucking galaxy.
Right.
Because nobody comes to
Yeah.
help the Resistance.
Yeah.
Until later.
So, like, if they own the whole galaxy, why couldn't they summon another ship in front of the rebel ships? But whatever. Generally speaking, I think the ideas behind that chase were pretty good. I like what they did with Poe for the most part. I wish Finn was with them the whole time, as opposed to going to the casino planet. But I generally like especially the stuff they try to do with the Force. Rian Johnson has a really good concept for the Force, and what the Jedi should be. And I really liked what he was leading towards. And then this movie kind of shat all over that.
Oh, they did 100%.
really did.
Yo, okay, we know that shit. Like, the fucking light speed shot from the end of that movie. Like, I mean, it looks visually, it is spectacular.
It's stellar, yeah.
It's
Very
cool
cool.
as fuck.
So-
And the beginning of this one.
awesome moment where like kind of the whole time you're like, this lady doesn't get it, and then you're like, oh no, she gets it so much.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it's fucking stupid, because why aren't they just blasting TIE fighters into these ships like kamikaze style?
So
It really-
they literally
it
open
blows
this
big plot
next.
holes in
They
it.
open the next movie with them being like, "Just kidding. That was like a really rare occurrence that almost
time.
never is possible." And like, look, the money
there's
and
like a
Falcon
brief line
compare
of, like, we need to pull some hold-on maneuvers. And Poe's like, it's a 1 in a million
shot. Yeah.
Which I don't understand why people have such a problem with that. I'm pretty sure, like.
I mean, it's because then it's
maybe I
because
need
the
to
whole
rewatch-
Death Star thing.
So you watched Last Jedi recently, right? Mm-hmm. Was there any mention of whether or not the Snoke's ship had shields up?
I don't think so.
They did that because if I recall correctly, they dropped their shields in order to match speed with the rebel ships because the rebel ships are faster. So they got to put all their juice into the engines.
I don't remember.
I could be wrong, but if I recall, that's why they're completely defenseless as the ship turns around and blasts through.
I also think if you're a small
Because-
rebellion with limited resources, you can't just chuck all your ships
Yeah.
at the enemy ships.
Yeah.
Be left with no ships.
Well,
You have fucking droids.
The joke was, well, why didn't they just do that against the Death Star? And
Right.
then in Return of the Jedi, it's like a major plot point that if they fly towards the Death Star, their ships are just going to get splattered against its shield.
Shields.
So
Sure, until you get past the shield, like they did, and then do it. Piloted by a droid. No one dies. Death Star explode.
But it wouldn't
Yeah.
destroy the Death Star.
What 100% would destroy the Death Star?
Moon. It's huge.
Two bolts fired down a pipe blew it up. Like,
Yeah, because because of a serious flaw in its design. But anyway, we need to get to the movie.
Yeah, we need to get
I
to-
haven't given my opinion.
I
yet.
know. that's true.
I have very mixed feelings about the movie, but generally speaking, I think the first 2/3 is really fun. I think it's a mess. I think it tries to jam in too much, and there are parts that are really annoying, but overall, if you just take it at face value, you can have a really fun time watching it. Once they get to Exegol, shit just falls apart.
Yeah.
I think the whole movie just plummets after that. But up until right before then,
Just plug
it's
in-
kind of fun.
Just plug in your 1/4 inch into this triangle and it'll take you right to the Sith homeworld.
Man.
And everyone needs that for the whole movie to get to Exegol, but then at the end, every ship in the galaxy can find it.
Well, didn't they?
Ray-
no,
Ray
they did. She sent a thing out that's like
Then
she's showing
she
us where
did,
Exegol is.
But then couldn't someone have done that at some point in the history of the galaxy? Like it just they
Only
make
the
it such a
Sith knew
big
where it
deal
was.
that you can only get there with this little thing.
But
I
you
mean-
only know how to get there with
Right.
a little thing.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't, I'm not entirely sure what's
it's
going
like-
on. There's a big
it's like-
storm around it or something. Cosmic crazy shit, like black holes and. There's one line where Poe's like, this has everything around this planet. Black holes, like nebulas, like this is a crazy system where there's only one way through it all. It's basically the exact same thing that happened in Solo, where with the Kessel Run. And it was like, there's only one way through the Kessel Run. And then Han takes the ship. It's the exact same thing, except nobody has charted this Kessel Run. And that's what Rey does.
Yeah.
So... Man, I just realized it's the exact same fucking thing as that movie.
Well, that's what they do. I also love that Dominic Monaghan's character was there just to be like...
Mary Brandy book just like shows up out of nowhere.
Dude, he's just like, I'm here and this exposition is needed. And then he goes away.
I was so bummed, but like, give that exposition to Rose. If
Well,
you're not gonna do anything,
All
let her
right,
talk.
I want to talk a little bit about
Oh yeah,
that.
they screwed Rose over.
Okay, so there's a couple things. So Rose specifically, I'm really annoyed by this, and a lot of people I think are aware that Kelly Marie Tran got a lot of shit and like racist and horrible harassment based on not herself but her character in the last movie. And Rose, I think, is a fine character. It's just this casino plot thing in Last Jedi is weird and stupid. So,
Well, no, and they do a really good job of setting up, like, with the whole necklace and stuff. Like, you quickly are like, she gives a shit, I give a shit. Like, they do a good job of setting her character up, no doubt.
I really like everything about her and her sister, and also the DJ character, the like not Han Solo from Last Jedi. I thought was really good. But like all the casino stuff was like, what are we doing? So
only one person that I know of in the galaxy can possibly do this, and it's this guy, who is clearly there. Oh, just kidding. By sheer happenstance, Benicio del Toro is in prison with you and can also do it.
kind of.
That is 100% because then they
almost failed.
showed the dude with the fucking plume. Yeah, whatever.
But either way, she got a lot of shit for it. She had to like remove her entire social media presence and whatnot.
Oh, damn,
And
that
so
sucks.
this does kind of, the way she was written out essentially does kind of feel like it's either Lucasfilm or Abrams like conceding to that.
We're just being like, we don't want to deal with it.
And it's like, well, a lot of these people who harassed her are probably feeling justified now. Like, yeah, they agree with me.
Right.
She's the worst. She should
Yeah,
be
which
in
is
these
some old
movies.
bullshit.
And
'cause,
I hate that, especially
She
since
was absolutely fine. It was just the scenes she was written into were kind of fucking dumb.
well, I'm sure a lot of people are using the argument that, well, there's a lot of shit happening in this movie,
Right.
And there's a lot of characters, and it's like, well, she doesn't necessarily have a role to play. There's a lot of things going on. We got to focus on these other characters. It's like, sure, I can kind of understand that, except they do set up a role for her early on in the film. The reason why she doesn't travel with the trio is she says, like, Leia has ordered me to study these old Star Destroyer models because Palpatine has a bunch of old Star Destroyers from the original movies.
So wait,
It's like
when does Palp show up?
right off the bat.
Oh, like
Like,
immediately?
it's literally the first scene.
Oh, great.
Basically,
The opening crawl is the dead speak, and he's back.
yeah, it's like the voice
I
of
want to
Emperor
talk about that,
Palpatine.
but real quick, I want to finish this. So she's told, or she says, she's going to focus on the old Star Destroyer models, right? It's like, okay, cool. She has something that she might do later. At the end of the film, they're standing on an old Star Destroyer model, and there's all this shit happening, and somehow they drop all their shields or whatnot, and then Finn magically realizes, hey, their shields are down because we took out this tower. We can take control of this gun and destroy the Star Destroyer.
Shoot the big tower.
And I'm like, how do you know that?
That should have been
Especially
her.
since previously
sure.
there's a scene where they enter a Star Destroyer, one of the new Star Destroyers, to find Chewbacca, and they ask Finn, hey Finn, do you know anything about Star Destroyers? And he's like, nope. Like, he straight up establishes he doesn't know anything about these things.
No, I
So-
mean, he put it together because he saw the little tower blow up. So naturally, we blow up big tower. It gives us more radius.
How
He's
does
a
he
little
know how
force
to take
sensitive,
control
right?
of the tower, of the turret? Like,
Yeah.
that I
It
can
happens.
understand. Well, no, he was a janitor, wasn't he?
yeah. He has no technical experience. It just sort of happens. It's like, it feels like you set this up for Rose to be next to him, but then you introduce this Janna character, and now
might be
she's his
Lando's
sidekick.
daughter?
Who is Lando's daughter.
That was a weird
But not,
scene.
it's not
Oh,
confirmed in
dude,
the
it
movie.
looked like he was hitting on her
Right?
so
It was
hard.
I know,
so
a lot of
weird.
people interpreted it that way, but apparently there are a couple things that have been established. This movie is set up it's weird.
Well, let's find out.
This movie is set up for later products.
Oh, Lando.
They introduce a lot of things, or it's kind of similar to the prequels in a way in that regard, in that the prequels made a lot of mistakes, and a lot of the books and TV shows and stuff afterwards were dedicated to fixing those mistakes or explaining them.
Yeah.
And so it kind of weirdly helped sell those pieces of content because people wanted to know, like, why did those red doors stop Obi-Wan from reaching Qui-Gon and then Darth Maul killed him? Like, the red doors make no fucking sense in Phantom Menace, but then you read a book and it's like, oh, well, they're there to stop droids from getting into that room. It's like, oh, okay. Totally need to know that, thanks. But like random little info like that is not in the movie, and it's gonna be in books. And Abrams has already come out and said, like, yeah, she's Lando's daughter. And yeah, the thing that Finn was going to tell Rey as they were dying was not a romantic confession. He was gonna tell her, I think I'm force sensitive.
Really?
As they're drowning in quicksand, which is totally bullshit. He made that up afterwards because he realized, at least I think he made it up afterwards because he realized that he really screwed Poe over in this movie. But, because he was totally gonna be like, I'm in love with you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, why would he be so awkward about it afterwards?
Yeah,
if he's
address
force
that.
sensitive.
Oh God, can we talk about that? All right, we showed up on this planet because we're tracking this last dude who was trying to find the fucking way to the Sith homeworld or whatever. Hey, we just happened to land on this planet during like it's 1 in every 40-year fucking celebration day. Everyone's happy and just going.
It's like Burning
ham.
Man.
It's like basically like this planet's
great.
Burning Man, all right? And then this is some random fucking planet that no one's ever dealing with. Like they're just out doing their shit way on the edge of the universe. And then they drop this line where they're just like, well, watch out for the First Order. Surely there's gonna be spies at things like these. And I'm like, if 1 in every 40 fucking years, and then this is the best part. I'm like, all right, well, like maybe okay, that's clearly gonna come up. So like maybe there's gonna be like a suspicious looking guy or whatever. But the camera then just like, whoa, and there's a stormtrooper in full fucking stormtrooper garb at Burning Man, and he's just like,
spy.
I know. That's what I said. And he's just like, hey, yeah, they're here. And I'm like, bullshit. Like, you know,
I mean, to be fair, if anyone doesn't understand espionage, it's probably the Empire. But, like, that's not a spy.
Well, okay, I do want to actually use that moment to talk about something that I liked about the film. Because there's that one guy and he kills him real quick. Or they kill him real quick. So he's not
in one stormtrooper.
There's just one stormtrooper there. They kill him real quick.
Sure.
The way they find them actually is Kylo Ren does this clever thing with the Force bond with Rey.
That was interesting.
And that was taken from The Last Jedi. Ryan Johnson introduced that, and I really liked everything they did with the Force bond. Him taking the necklace from her and then scanning it to find out where she is. The lightsaber fight in 2 different areas.
It's very cool.
oh, dude, awesome. I mean, that is one of the biggest fan
I actually
service
don't want to talk
moments.
about that too much because I want to save that for Sam.
Dude, can I tell him about the drop or no?
What drop? Oh, the plot twist?
No, the lightsaber drop.
Does she like Arya Stark it?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the famous 2019 sword drop.
Cool.
It's like 3 or 4 times.
No, it's
dumb shit
more
like that?
it's more she passes something to him.
It's fucking sick.
It's
dude.
very cool.
It's so good. And 100%, that was my first thought when I watched that. I was just like, damn, they're just like, yo, everybody loved that fucking Arya Stark moment. Like, how do we do that?
Really?
I guess.
I didn't think
It's
people
not-
liked
it's
the
not-
Arya Stark moment. I thought it was like very anticlimactic.
Because Arya Stark doesn't.
No,
really
dude,
have much to
cinematic-
do with the.
There's a
Anyway,
million problems wrapped around that, but like,
Yeah,
we can just
like,
say
it's just
that
like-
shot
it's
was
like,
cool
hey,
as
Very
fuck.
cool.
Here's
Sure.
the fucking
Yeah.
king of evil. He's like a
We're here
fucking
to talk
no,
about
no,
Star
no,
Wars.
That's the other
and
shit.
then I'm like,
Turn around.
Lamau, gotcha. Fucking oldest trick in the book.
And then we'll never ever fight a White Walker. Dude, don't gut me on that. Don't. Again, cinematically, that shot was cool as fuck.
I would like to talk a little bit about the fetch quest,
Yeah.
specifically
Perpetual
the
fetch
fetch quest that.
Swear to Christ. I swear to God, Ben, at that part where I'm like, okay, I know they're gonna do that.
Oh.
But when they
Yeah,
pull
okay.
it out, I was so mad.
Okay.
It's in the goddamn ocean. It would move a lot.
So
Okay?
let me back up. There's a fetch quest. So the 2/3 of this movie is a fetch quest to find a map to a map, right? Like that's basically what the movie's about. But previously, there was another fetch quest that is barely mentioned in the film, but is like integral to the whole thing. I want to talk a little bit about the adventures of Ochi, the Jedi Hunter, because it's hilarious to me what happens to this guy. So Ochi,
Is he like their Boba Fett?
so here's the thing, plot drop, twist, Rey is a Palpatine,
Okay.
okay? Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yep.
So Palpatine's plan this whole time, Palpatine's just been hanging on out in this secret Sith planet.
So wait,
building
did
a fleet.
Palpatine lose his body?
Yeah,
when he got
here you
thrown
go.
into-
Here, no, it's explained by Dominic Monaghan, because somebody's just like, Palpatine's back, and it's just like, the Sith and their experiments and things that most wouldn't, like resurrection and cloning.
Well, they're just
Explain.
theorizing. They're just theorizing. And Palpatine
Well,
literally
I mean-
tells
Well, yeah,
Kylo-
but then you've got Snoke's in a
That-
tube.
that's like
Right. Palpatine
Darth
literally tells
Plagueis
Kylo-
shit, like where he was like fucking with life and shit. Like it adds up.
Right. He tells them that like they're mysterious to the dark side that not many people know. And frankly, I think it's better that they didn't explain it, because whatever explanation they would have come up with.
It's stupid as hell.
Would've been bad.
Yeah. So his plan is to get Kylo to him and tell Kylo to go kill Rey, and then Kylo will be the new Emperor of the Sith, right? That's in this movie. But previously, he had another plan, because he actually doesn't want to kill Rey. He wants to bring Rey to him to turn her into the Empress of the Sith. And so,
No, to let him possess her.
I don't think that's actually what he meant. I think that was a metaphor, but a lot of people are taking it literally, because the Palpatine dialogue in this whole movie is weird. But
But they specifically went out of their way.
no, I'm pretty sure it was a metaphor, because she was all the Jedi and he was all the Sith. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a metaphor. But so 15 years earlier, he sends this Jedi hunter to go find young Rey to bring him to her, or bring her to him. But this guy is named Ochi. He's supposed to be a Jedi hunter, but the dude doesn't know how to get to the Sith planet. So somehow Palpatine gives him this dagger, which will send him to the remains of the Death Star, which will then lead him to the Wayfinder that will send him to Exegol, the Sith planet, after he finds Rey. So this is the plan.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to come back. And also, he gets to the planet where Rey's parents are, and then
Well,
they like.
that's what I want to cover next.
Okay,
So,
okay, so-
Ochi has this ship, right? It's got 2 big barrel engines on it. Rey sees it on Burning Man planet, and she's like, I recognize that ship. And it's the same ship from her vision from Force Awakens.
parents
flying
left
away, that her parents left in. It's like, okay, that's her parents' ship. And then they're like, no, actually, this is Ochi's ship, the Sith Hunter. Wait a minute. So that means that Ochi, oh, by the way, Rey's parents were the sons and daughter, or the son of Palpatine, and they sold her to alien Simon Pegg to hide her from Ochi.
Okay, yeah, that adds up. That seems fair. Like,
I
that's
guess.
Some shit. Like, I mean, they do the same dumb shit. They're just like, oh, well, we'll just fucking throw Luke on a planet, like out here.
Sure. Yeah,
so they'll
pass it
never
down the
find him. And
However,
like Leia can go over there. Like, I mean, it's not like,
If Rey's vision of the past is to be believed, they sold her to alien Simon Pegg while Ochi was there, and captured her parents and took off in a ship within sight of Rey, because she sees the
'Cause
ship
then you
leaving,
see the-
and she's screaming for her parents. So Ochi doesn't have the thought to just turn towards the screaming child and go, "Is that Rey?"
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he just takes the parents.
It's straight up like he shows up and he's just like, "Where's the girl?" And they're like,
The mom goes, she's not
gone."
on Jakku.
Yeah.
She specifically says she's not on Jakku. And then
he's like,
Ochi's response
"Okay."
is to kill the only witnesses he has. He stabs them to death with the dagger that is supposed to be his map. And then he goes, oh shit, my witnesses are dead. Well, they said she's not on Jakku, so I guess she must be on another desert planet. So he flies to Burning Man planet for no reason, lands his ship there in the middle of the desert. He's not there to he's clearly not there to get supplies or anything, because he lands in the middle of the desert. It's not like at a dock or anything like that. And then Ochi decides to take out his speeder. You know how speeders in Star Wars generally float?
Yes.
We've always seen them floating,
Right,
right? Except for in this movie, right before this scene, you see them with treads.
because it's a
And I believe it was to trick you, because otherwise this next part would not make any sense.
It's true.
Ochi takes his speeder out, which is very clearly labeled a Sith speeder for some reason. He takes it out of the ship. He puts it on the sand. It's not floating. He puts it on the sand, and then he gets on it, and then he sinks into quicksand and dies. That is the story of Ochi.
So he's Boba Fett, pretty
He's
much.
so
Like,
stupid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
he's supposed to be a badass, and then he just shows up and dies like in an accident.
dude. So
They
well,
don't
he's
actually
like a
go
little
into a story like
right,
that,
he's
but
a
if you
very
think
small
about
plot.
it, his story is so stupid, but it sets up everything.
Now, can
because-
we talk about who made the fucking dagger?
Okay.
Oh yeah, the other
somebody-
thing about the dagger.
Dude, oh my God. All right, so here's the deal. Apparently, there are only 2, and they really want to hammer this in. There are 2 magical triangles that will take you to the Sith homeworld.
It's pretty much like the compass and Jack Sparrow, the Black Pearl
Right.
shit.
Also, everyone has the adapter to make this shit plug into their ship, okay? Despite
Just plug in
spanning
wires.
all of
Yeah.
time, you just
universal.
throw a
It's like
quarter
having
inch into
some
that
weird
bitch,
crypto
and it
device,
works.
but like just a USB. Like,
Yeah, basically. And so what it is one of these is on the Death Star, okay?
sure.
So after the Death Star exploded into a million goddamn pieces, which we've already seen, for some reason, a good old chunk of it landed in the ocean of this one planet. Somebody then went and was like, somebody's gonna want that magical triangle. And instead of moving it or doing anything, I'm gonna stand on this ridge, and from here I'm gonna calculate exactly or approximately where that would be. And then I'm gonna make a dagger, okay?
That lines up with
perfectly
Wreck-It.
aligns up with the broken form of the Death Star, which again is in the fucking ocean. So it would never stay still. And then he,
Maybe the plant's real good at it.
it would, come on. And so like, and he's holding it, and this was the part that I just like rolled my eyes into the back of my head. So like, wait a minute, this dagger's a little oddly shaped. Ugh. And it starts lining up, and then they notice that there's a little gold piece, and they're like, wait a minute. And they pull it out, and it's got a little, it's like a little compass.
It's in the hilt.
And it makes a little X that then points
It marks the spot.
to the exact
spot where the Wayfinder is.
And guess what? It was in Emperor Palpatine's room.
Another thing about that.
No shit! No one needs a dagger. It's like, oh, it's on the Death Star? Yeah, it's probably in the fucking Sorcerer of all Evil's place.
Both sides of the dagger are the same. So
Yes!
they could have accidentally flipped it upside down and pointed to the completely wrong place, and it still would have.
Would have been funny. Should have done that.
Oh man. So we're running out of time, but I want to hit a couple real quick
more.
points.
We so mad. Yeah.
I'm the spy. Quick reactions to that.
Yeah.
I'm the spy.
Oh god.
I was
know.
fine with that.
That just sounds bad.
Just you'll have to watch it.
Yeah,
it's,
but
I don't
it's honestly
care,
really
as
fun,
long
but
as
I don't know if
Kylo Ren loses.
So the end of the movie when there's the big ship, the big fleet, I thought it didn't quite work. I thought we needed a civilian perspective in order for that to work. And I believe Kerry Russell's character was supposed to be that civilian perspective where it was like the people who didn't come to help last movie go through an arc where, okay, now they're gonna come to help. And that, I guess that was supposed to be your arc, but it happens like in one scene.
Yeah.
Tell them that it's our last hope or whatever the fuck she's, and then it's just like, and then suddenly like all of the universe is like, all right, you know, fine, this time we got you,
do
dog.
it.
Lando should run everything because he just magically unites the entire universe in like 5 minutes.
Dude,
It's charismatic.
he is.
He's a pretty
and-
cool
but,
dude.
Dude, man, it was so like, it's so like you're really happy to see him, but then also like, dude, he's so fucking old.
Oh yeah.
And like,
He's great.
he is, but like there are some moments where he's just
Sure.
like, and he's just like, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, but he's really happy.
He's having a
Like,
good time.
He's having a good time. and there's another shot where
I
they're just
enjoy
like,
Lando.
they have the council around, and they have clearly masked the wheelchair that he is sitting in. And it's just like, and then also there's this line at the end. So the character that basically it's an escaped stormtrooper that is miraculously also on the planet
Finn,
where the Death
all
Star
over.
crashes. Yes, Finn finds a whole race of nomadic people who are all escaped clones, and then this one girl, stormtroopers, yes, but whatever.
A lot of
and
them
he finds this one girl anyway, so she comes with
Yeah,
them, and they have
makes
this whole thing. And then at the very, very end, she's just like, something about her parents. Like I never knew who my parents were. And then he turns her, and it's supposed to be a little nod that, hey, it's actually his daughter, and like that
Let's go
works
find-
in the
let's
extent
go
of the
find
universe. Right, and he just goes, well, let's go find out. like who her dad is or whatever, and I was just like, no, like
Weird.
I don't think that was so, like, but like, oh man,
It does kind of feel like the direction to him wasn't quite clear enough, and he was like, "Oh, so I'm doing my Lando thing with a woman."
Right.
And then JJ was like, "No, that's your daughter."
It's like, well, too late now.
And he's like,
Before we run out
well,
of
I'm out
time,
of time.
here, let me get some questions in. How much Luke is there?
He's got 2 scenes.
Little bit of Luke.
little bit.
Just
Tiny
little.
little
Does he do anything sweet?
No.
How are the
I
Force
like
ghosts?
the-
Are they do
the
literally
X-Wings.
anything?
So the
Force ghosts show up.
do we
kind of.
see Qui-Gon?
No.
Or anyone? Is
No,
it
here.
just
But there's
Luke
this
and
really
Yoda?
cool scene.
The
I like that.
cameos, I think, were well done. I think overall the cameos and the Jedi coming together to help Rey was well done. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense. The whole confrontation with Rey and Palpatine makes no sense. He's like, you will strike me down and become the new Sith or whatever. And I'm like,
You will strike me down and become.
if she kills him, she can just leave, right?
Well, no, see,
Like-
and this is why I think why people are taking it literally. Because
Right,
he's
because it makes
basically
no
like-
sense otherwise.
Yeah, because he's like,
then why would he
"If
tell
you
her that?"
Strike me down, then I will possess your body, and I will become the Empress of the Sith, or whatever. And then she's just like,
I'm glad he's so gender fluid, though.
I know.
If we're gonna do a takeaway, this old man being accepted.
But so
Also
instead,
slept with someone at some point.
oh,
But then
I
she
mean,
does.
ages ago.
Ages ago.
But she
That's
does.
fine.
well, no, and this is what the thing is. They loophole it. She doesn't. He kills himself on the lightning that he could turn off at any moment.
Which, by the way,
She crosses the sabers, and he's like,
That happens.
and then she's just like, I'm gonna keep pushing it. And he's like, oh God, I'm starting to melt, but I can't stop.
Wait,
Like,
that
and he just-
happens
didn't Mace
again?
Windu
Yeah.
do that to me?
Yeah.
I know to stop this because Mace did this to me, and I used that in my favor in Revenge of the Sith to trick Anakin into killing him. So
Yep.
he clearly knows how this works.
Right,
But
and yet
also,
he blew himself up. So this
did anybody
loophole.
notice that Force lightning blows up ships except for when it doesn't? Like early on the
Okay,
film,
I'm gonna have to
blows
go
it up
see this
instantly.
movie. It seems like there's plenty
Yeah,
of
you
fun
gotta
shit
see
to talk about.
Also, just last thing I do want to mention.
He does say do it, by the way.
Yeah, Palpatine says several Palpatine memes.
Yep.
Last
Does
thing
he ever Darth Plagueis us like or anything?
what do you mean?
Is he even mentioned? Because that's like one of the fucking biggest prequel memes. The story of Darth Plagueis. or
Oh,
whatever.
actually, that's the thing. That is his excuse for being alive.
Yeah, which it should be. That makes perfect sense.
It's the
Like,
same quote that he was talking about with Dark Plagueis.
Oh,
and
they,
like,
so they prequel it? Oh, that's fucking awesome. Totally. 100%. I haven't seen the movie. A+ grade.
So the one thing that I really dislike about this film is everybody complains about Broom Boy in Last Jedi.
I don't complain about it.
Like,
Whatever.
Room boy.
Well,
What
okay, a
was
lot
it,
of people
the one they
complain
show
about
the
Broom
ring
Boy.
to? They give him the ring?
They give the ring and then he
What's
forces
That's Lord of the
with
Rings.
fucking Broom
That's Frodo.
Boy? No, but Broom Boy
He moves
gets
the
the ring.
broom and it implies that he's force sensitive. And there was a lot of people who were like,
Also, but
this is
like,
dumb.
Can we talk
And-
about
and
how
I
you're
didn't
on a slave
understand
planet and have
why.
jewelry, and you're like, dude, they're gonna notice this like immediately. Dog,
It's
you're
a
a
symbol of
fucking
hope.
slave child.
Well, a lot of people complain about it, and I didn't quite understand why. And I think I get it now. So this movie reintroduces the idea that the Force is genetic, right? It is all
Midichlorians.
about your family,
Yeah,
And
don't like
midichlorians.
which everybody seemed to want. Like everybody wanted Rey to be somebody, even though that was kind
And
of
she
the
is.
antithesis of her character.
Right.
She's Palpatine. I also thought everybody hated the idea of midichlorians, but this is the same thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like her being a Palpatine just reinforces the idea of midichlorians, so I don't
I mean,
get the
it
complaint.
would, aside from the midichlorian thing, it would make sense that people who are very strong with the Force, like, would pass on whatever it is.
Sure, but the idea that seemed to be introduced in both Force Awakens and Last Jedi is that anybody can use the Force, even a nobody like Rey, and that was what drove Kylo crazy.
Yeah.
Like there's that whole scene with the lightsaber,
Yeah.
where in Force Awakens with Anakin's lightsaber, and
Right.
Kylo believes that belongs to him,
Right.
because he has earned it because of his bloodline.
Right.
But Rey uses it, even though she's a nobody, and that drives him crazy.
Well, it turns out he was right.
Well,
Dude, the
so
her final line.
it seems really crazy to me because now Jedi is like a master race thing. It's like
yeah,
if you can only be a Jedi if you are special.
we were so close to the end of this episode without dropping that.
Well,
No,
no,
I'm
that's
just kidding.
Well, that's what they're setting
what- I
up.
know, I know,
Like, I
it
mean,
is,
it
yeah.
kind of always
Like-
has been. Like, even in, I think this will probably be post show, but even Mandalorian with the Baby Yoda and shit is like, this is clearly a race thing.
Well, and now I kind of get why. You remember when there were so many weird complaints about Finn being a black stormtrooper, and like you know, Rose and things like that, and like, a woman can't be a Jedi.
Are you saying it's secretly an alt-right story?
No, hang on. Whoa! Hang on. A lot of people were wondering where did this fan base come from? This like racist sort of fan base.
It comes from eugenicists?
Because the villains of Star Wars are Nazis.
Yeah.
So why would people who kind of align with that sort of viewpoint like Star Wars? And it's like, well, it is about a master race. So maybe this
is the best hot take of 2020 I've heard so far.
So early.
And Ben, you're a big Star Wars fan.
I am. I'm really weirded out by this.
Star Wars is fucking alt-right.
Well, I do think Red Letter Media has made a point of saying that they think that Star Wars is limited. And I kind of disagree with that. I don't think Star Wars is limited. I think the Force is. Because we've just seen the same thing over and over. And I think we need to get away from it. That's how Mandalorian works.
Yeah. They're healing people now.
Well, so does the Force. But
I actually really like that. I think that was a really nice touch for Ben to kind of do exactly what Anakin was trying to do, but he did it selflessly.
Yeah.
Like the idea was like Anakin tried to keep his wife alive for selfish reasons.
Right.
Ben tried to keep Rey alive for selfless reasons.
Right.
And so it worked. I thought that was a nice little wrap up.
Now that we have 2 minutes left, can we completely diverge and spend 1 minute on the movie I went and saw over Christmas?
Let's go.
We have post-show.
Knives Out, which absolutely fucking claps.
Haven't seen it. Heard it was really good.
It is
Way to go,
fantastic. Yeah. Okay, but that was all I had to say about
Great
that.
movie.
We can do fucking Mandalorian here in post-show.
You've seen that, right?
Oh yeah, I finished that.
Okay, good. There's one thing.
I don't care.
Hey, thanks for watching. Happy New Year.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Use hashtag DeathBattleCast.
Jesus
All right,
Christ.
hashtag is Star Wars alt-right.
Nope, and don't do that motion.
No.
Cut
Wave.
the feed.
It was
Cut
not
the
when you
feed.
first did it.
The elbow never lock.